Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to another Coffee Talk podcast episode. It has been a minute and I don't even know where to begin. I guess we'll start with my drink of the day. Today I'm drinking chamomile lavender tea. Let me know what you're drinking down below. And the quote on my tea today says, "Are not all flowers the stars of the earth?" So it has been a minute since I've done a podcast episode, and I'm going to start off by saying I'm sorry if I sound froggy. I am getting over a little bit of a cold, and also my son is getting over his first cold. I want to be very intentional with my words and what I'm talking about today. I don't even fully know. I sat down today without even a full idea of exactly what to talk about, because I feel like the only way I can break back into the podcasting world and just my content again is by giving a general update. But then it's like, oh gosh, where do I start with my update? And so there has been a lot that has gone on. There's a lot that's still going on. And I don't think there's ever really a right time, or there will be a right time that it'll feel good to jump back in. And I've been meaning to jump back in. I took a very unexpected break from social media, and I'm planning another one later in March, only for a week that time. That's part of the challenges that we're doing over on the Sunday Club membership. So it's a bit different. That one's a bit more scheduled, planned, and expected. But I ended up just really needing to take a step back and needing to reevaluate and just also not plan and not do and just be, specifically be with family, be with loved ones, be in my feels in my feelings, and kind of live my life as it was happening. And I feel very grateful for the ability to be able to do that. Ryan and I sold his house just at the end of 2022. So we were really lucky because it gave us a little bit of a grace period to take a breather and to spend time with his family. And all in all, we had someone pass away in the family. I posted about it to Instagram, so I guess I'm okay to openly talk about it. But this is where I'm struggling, I guess you might say, with my step back and my time to think and be in my thoughts, and just also the fact that I've gone through such an enormous change over the last year. I don't feel like I fully have a firm grasp exactly on where I stand with everything right now. So much has changed for me in the last year. Obviously, I've become a mother, and that has been a big transformation for me. And not just in the sense of, oh, I'm only solely a mother now, but just it has changed me as a person a lot, in the sense of my purpose, my strength. I used to be a baby compared to who I am now. I don't mean to like bash my younger self or anything, but man, I used to miss one night of sleep and I would be so off my rocker. And now I don't think I've had a full night's sleep since there was a grace period. There was a 1 week grace period when my son was two months old, where he slept through the night for like a week, and that was it. And so I've had 1 week of good sleep since September 2022. And that mixed with just in general going through motherhood for the most part on my own, or navigating it on my own. Aside from, my sister has been amazing to have close by, because she's gone through it too, and also has had to largely navigate going into motherhood by herself. I also had Ryan's mother, and I think this is why I kind of put off sitting down and doing an update, because I have been able to go through these emotions on my own, but it's really made me think about what I do and what I don't share online. This whole last year has made me think about what I do and what I do not share online. And I think anybody that's been watching me or has been tuned into my videos over the years will know that I wear my heart on my sleeve. And that has always been my, I guess, guiding force through creating and sharing online. And at times I think that maybe I overshared, or I wasn't so certain about my boundaries. And when I do that in my real life and online, I tend to then pull back hard. Like I almost overshare or overgive, and then I hit a wall, and then I shut down. And it's very much just in my nature to kind of go back inwards, figure out where I stand on things, and then reemerge to the world. And so I feel like I've been able to do that more recently. But yeah, it's so weird because there's so many new perspectives I have on the internet and social media in particular. And I'm really navigating the seas of where do I fit into what I've come to know and new perspectives that have been brought to me just through, being out there, watching other people, hearing other people's opinions, and realizing like, wow, okay, that's areas I used to maybe do wrong in the past, but again, I wouldn't have known better then. Now that I know better, what do I want to do with this information? This all seems very vague, and I'm sorry, I might also seem very all over the place, but this is all just to say that like I feel a little conflicted. While I do feel I have a general sense of where I'm heading, and I do definitely have some ideas in which I'm growing and fostering, and I'm hoping to continue to bloom and unravel throughout the year, there are still some things that I'm not totally certain on, and that has made it difficult for me to pick my camera back up. Specifically when it comes to like vlogging my day-to-day life, or sitting here and creating a podcast episode that is solely based on me just updating you on what's going on in my life, because let me just be fully unfiltered with where my brain goes with this. And my brain runs very quickly, so that's why I'm sorry if I jump all over the place. But there's a level of social media that feels highly narcissistic to me. And I have definitely dabbled with that. Like I have openly talked about, and again, like I'm getting into one of those corners again where I'm like, do I want to even talk about this? But I have openly explained before that I have had a primary person in my life that from the years of therapy I've come to understand is a narcissist, and not someone that just has narcissistic qualities, but has what would be considered personality disorder of narcissism. And so that has greatly affected me, not only in terms of my inner child, or I guess my formative years of 0 to 7, perhaps even the later formative years going into my teenage years, but also even just as an early adult, or I guess now a mother too. And it's something that I think actually may have pushed me into social media. But now that I've been in social media and I've grown a platform, it is impossible for you to have thousands, if not millions of followers and it not to play an effect on who you are or how you see yourself. And I struggled with that and I overcame it, and I feel I'm in a good place now. But then it's like when I go to create content, it's like, who am I doing this for? Am I doing this to boost my own ego? Am I doing this to feel better about myself? Am I doing this to be like, look at me? Or am I doing this to help other people? And that includes when I share personal stories or when I do wear my heart on my sleeve. It's like, is this helping people, or is this almost like overshare? Or I think in the past, even opening up on camera and talking about things online has been almost like a band-aid instead of going to therapy, which is, I'm glad I did eventually go to therapy, but this is a mess. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a mess today. I'm not collected. I'm not organized in my thoughts. This is the reality of where I'm at right now in my life, including being a little sick. I have a partner that I love very deeply. I have a son. I have a child that I love more than anything and would do anything to protect. And I have a new, I guess, limb of family now that I also feel very loving and very protective over. So for me to like sit here and explain what I've gone through just doesn't feel right, because it doesn't just include me. But I can tell you that the parts that I have been going through and the grieving process that I have been going through, it's still really hard, clearly. She was just like one of the most wonderful people. She just guided me through one of the most important transitions of my life, and like I'll never forget that. And I also I really want to model a lot of the motherhood that I'd taken, or the maternal role that I'm taking in my life after her. Sorry. So it's just been tough. Again, it's something I have been open about already online, so I can't really reverse. I'm not close with my own mom, and being able to have that time with Ryan's mom, like I'll cherish it forever, because she taught me a lot in the time that I was able to spend with her, and healed a lot, or just make a lot more sense to me, in that short time that I was able to spend lots of time with her and go through a pregnancy and go through childbirth and go through the first or fourth trimester, the first few months of motherhood, having her around. And but now I'm kind of back to being on my own again, you know? And I feel good about it, as good as I can feel, I guess. Like I've always been able to hold my own, so that's fine. And I think that, or at least I have to hold on to this belief that that was the path that I chose. Maybe, I don't know. Again, it depends on what you believe in, but maybe when I came to Earth, like I chose to live out this life that I'm living, and this was part of my formula, my life formula, my life ingredient list, or whatever you want to call it, my life recipe. Like, it's just, all right, I'm back on my own and I can do this. I know I can, but it's definitely taking some time to just, I guess, settle into a life after her passing. She's been battling cancer since 2021, and she fought really, really hard. And just after the holidays, things took a turn. And so that's why right after Christmas, I pretty much have not been online. I wanted to spend as much time being there and spend as much time with her, but also just being with my family, being with Ryan, being with my son, and just being able to hold space and not feel like I needed to be divided in my mind or in my presence in any kind of way. I just wanted to be fully present. And so I'm very grateful to have been able to do that, and I'm very grateful to be able to jump back on here and give you this update, even though it's not perfect, even though it's messy. So that's like the biggest update. It's just, that's why I've taken a break. And then amongst all of that, it's obviously branched off into so many ways and opened up so many portals in terms of thoughts I've been having and revelations or downloads, or again, whatever you want to call them, but just things where I'm sitting back and I'm looking at the world, and I'm looking at my career, and I'm looking at my life and my family and my home, and I know internally what drives me forward. I know internally what values I stand by. I guess I just kind of sometimes hit these walls. You know, you have like fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. I used to fawn. I definitely used to be more of a people pleaser. Or I used to flight. I used to kind of, you know, take a run for the hills when things got crazy. Lately, I've been catching myself a bit more in freeze, or just maybe pause would be a better way to put it. Just taking a second to pause, and given everything that's happened, given all of these changes, these transformations, these experiences, this loss, this growth, like what now? What's next? What do I want to do with this? How do I want to move forward? And I guess sometimes it can be hard to take that first step, you know, like in my mind, or at least in my experience, I've built it up to be like, okay, I have to be 100% certain before I move forward. And that's just not the way that life works. Sometimes it does, and that's nice when it does, but a lot of the time you got to take off and you got to figure it out as you go. And so that's me here today, sitting down and just knowing that no matter when I chose to do this, it was going to be a difficult update, because I didn't want to just like jump back in as if I haven't been gone for 2 months. And I also was really struggling with like what to share, what not to share. Like there's a lot obviously that's happened, and a lot that, like, the best, or I guess most poetic way I could explain it is there are experiences that have created little splinters in my heart, or little micro cracks in my heart that I don't know if they'll ever heal. You know, just seeing the people that you love suffer or hurt in any kind of way, and just like feeling helpless and feeling like, you know, you can try all you want, but like there's nothing you can do when it comes to death and when it comes to illness or certain illnesses. And it can leave you feeling very powerless, very brokenhearted. Also just standing in the presence and holding space for the grieving process, for the people you love, and also for my own grieving process, because like it's not about me, but I did lose her too. And like also on top of that, having a almost 6-month-old, it's just taken a lot of energy and taken a lot out of me. And I would give years off my own life to give her more, without a question. Each week I'm like a little bit more surprised, I guess, by how much I'm able to withstand. My house is uncollected. My life is very uncollected right now. And it would be easy perhaps to wait until things are all collected and tidy again with a neat bow to jump back online. But I think that that's never really been my gig on here. It's always been as honest as I can be with as much knowledge and as much perspective as I'm able to have at any given point in my life. And there might be a time later in life where I look back and think, oh, I know better now. But I'll only know if I continue to walk forward. So I needed to take the first step. I needed to get back on and just give a little update and say also thank you to everybody that has been really patient or has reached out and just said that they were thinking of us and my family or of me. I also eventually did post a tribute to Ryan's mom to my Instagram. It's a sweet little video of her and Easton over Thanksgiving. I'm just so grateful that we had that time and that, you know, she was able to meet Easton and that Easton made his grand entrance into the world as serendipitously as he did, because in hindsight now it all makes so much more sense that she got to meet her first grandson, and she got to be a nana, and I will always cherish that time that they had together. My anthem lately has been You're on Your Own Kid by Taylor Swift, because it's kind of like, I guess, the energy I feel like I'm taking moving forward, where I'm just like, all right, back on my own again. And I'm I know it doesn't seem like it. Like, I seem emotional right now. I am emotional, but it's weird too. This might be overshare, but it's like, as soon as just recently over the Pisces new moon, actually, my cycle also came back. So I feel like I have reunited with a part of myself, or like it was just after her passing 2 weeks later that my cycle had come back. So I also do feel like it was a little bit of a sign from my own body, or from, again, it really depends. I know I talk to a wide spectrum of people on here, so I never want to like shy anybody away by saying something that might turn them off, because I'm open to all translations of many things. But to me, when my cycle came back, it also kind of felt like a little bit of a nudge from Mother Nature, Mother Earth, that like, you can do this. Like, you are woman, you are able to move forward and take care of yourself. And so I'm sorry also if you can hear noise in the background. Some other small, little updates. I am looking for a nanny. That hasn't been going too well. More so, I guess, a mother's helper. I've had a few, but they've all fallen through because we live pretty far out, so a lot of people don't want to make the trek out here. And I've also seen One Tree Hill, so I'm trying not to hire a crazy nanny Carrie. So I've been like really due diligent with my process of trying to find somebody. So that has been also taking up a lot of energies, because as soon as I have a mother's helper, which is basically just another set of hands to help me at home with my son and just in general, I'll have more open limbs, I guess you might say, to edit. And I mean, it's nice because I am getting into a routine as a mom, which feels really nice for me, because I'm starting to get to that point where things are feeling easier as a mom. Easton and I, we've learned each other. At least I feel like I've learned him inside and out. And so I'm able to now pick pockets of nap times or whatever it is to film. Ryan is still taking some time, so we've been working a lot on the house, and he's been able to be around so that I can do things like this, which is really nice. There is no moving on. You just keep going, and you take the people that you lose along the way with you, whether it's in the form of memories or in their energy, in their honor, in their love, in the piece of them that's still always with you, whether it's in your mind or in your heart or in the things you do that remind them of you, and vice versa. Like, I just had my birthday the other day, and I'm going to try and explain this story again without getting too emotional, but his mom would make us frozen meals, especially when Easton was first born, and I had a vegan chili that she made us, and so we had that for my birthday dinner, and I have one more meal left from her, which I'm going to save for Ryan's birthday and invite Ryan's dad over for, so we still kind of get to have little bits and pieces of her, but it's a day-by-day process. And between that, trying to find a nanny, trying to get our house in order, we're also planting all of our garden stuff right now. Our seeds are germination process inside right now, so we have a lot of landscaping and stuff. We're working on the house still. I am picking back up my vlog camera. I just got sick, so I am hitting the pause button one more time. But as soon as I come over the other side of this, I'm picking my vlog camera back up. I have some work projects with some really fun people on the horizon, which I'm really looking forward to, again, once I'm able to get that nanny or that mother's helper, so that I'm able to divvy up my time a bit better while still being, at home and with Easton. And what else? There was something else I wanted to tell you guys about. Oh, and I'm still running memberships. So I guess I should do a little update as to what's going on with the memberships in just a second. Let me take a sip. I am still running memberships, and we've just entered the spring era over on the Sunday Club, which you can currently join on the Kalyn's Coffee Talk YouTube channel. That will be changing eventually. But for right now, if you go onto Kalyn's Coffee Talk on YouTube and you join as a member, that is how you become part of the Sunday Club. Now, we are doing different challenges for each week in March to kick off spring. There is a new routine challenge for the month and a no spend challenge for the month. There is a plant your garden or do a passion project, a digital or dopamine detox, or both, for a week, which is the week that I'll be taking back off social media, although a podcast will go up that week. And there is a spring cleaning week as well. Lots of fun live streams going on. We're going to spring clean together, meal prep together. There's a health week as well, actually a health challenge week, which is just like living to what you decide to be your most optimal health for the week. Yeah, there's lots of fun stuff going on in March. And then every Sunday, I've still been doing live streams, and that has been kind of like my little happy place with all of this going on. It's been my little time to step away and do what I feel I do best, which is hold space for this online community. I guide yoga, we do some journaling, we do discussion, we do book club, and that has been this little part of me that still feels like I'm showing up in my purpose. So that has been amazing. And to all of the members that have stuck through these last few months and all of the transitions with the changing and the rebranding from Co's, because that also happened in the last few months too. It's just been a lot. And so thank you, whether you're a member or you're not, but if you're just listening to this and you've stuck around, I very much appreciate it. And there's still a lot to come. There's still a lot to figure out. And that's just the reality of my life right now. And so that's that. I'm not going to try and make it look prettier or sound prettier. It's messy, and good things springs around the corner, because spring cleaning, metaphorically and physically. That's my life update. That's what's been going on. It may have been all over the place. I'm not going to know until I sit down to edit this and see how many times I'm going to have to cut out sentences that I paused or coughs that I had, but hey, we got the conversation out, you know? Some conversations are easy, some are tough. This one was a little bit in between. But I would love to hear an update. What's been going on with you? I feel like it's been so long since I've posted or uploaded to YouTube. So, or I guess if you're listening to the podcast version, then hop on over to YouTube and let me know what you've been up to. What has your update been? And spring's on the horizon. So lots of fun stuff coming up over the next few weeks. Give me your update as to what's been going on with you. And I will talk to all of you guys in our next Coffee Talk podcast episode. Bye, everyone.